Hey guys, are you guys looking for a trading strategy to be used on binary options and it's very easy for beginners to understand? So if you guys actually stumble upon a strategy using the stochastic oscillator as well as the RSI, so I actually came across this strategy from one of my followers. So he actually saw this from a YouTube channel, BLW Trading from Christian. It's relatively simple to understand. So basically the rules are, once the stochastic go outside the lower boundary, and then we will take a reversal trade once the RSI touches the boundary. All right, so especially if you guys are a beginner and looking for a strategy, or if you're already trying to apply this strategy and you found that the results isn't as what you expect it to be, do watch this entire video, as I will try to clarify what's the strength and weaknesses of this strategy and when you should apply it and when you shouldn't, and what we can do to improve its win rate. All right, hey guys, this is Jay from Central Trading Channel. So if you guys are interested in trading binary options or trading forex, so do subscribe to my channel and also subscribe to my Telegram group, as I do give free signals every day. And if you guys want more signals, I do have a premium signals Telegram channel that you can check out as well, and all the details are in the description box below. Okay, I'm sorry guys, so I'm actually recording this in the midst of doing my daily signals. So as you can see, like today we're actually quite unlucky in some of the setups, and you can see that the loss is about, let's say, $2,250. This actually cannot be applied to you because I actually practice martingale trading. Martingale trading has a larger drawdown, but I'm actually comfortable with the risk. So if you're a beginner, please do not do martingale and just practice your trading strategy first before you modify any of your money management styles. All right, so this is just something that I do to grow my account a bit faster. Okay, as I mentioned just now, so what we want from this strategy, or what I understood from this YouTube strategy, is that we wait for the RSI, the stochastic, to go outside the channel, and then we take a reversal trade, which is the opposite direction. For example, if the RSI touches the upper boundary, we will take a trade in the opposite direction for maybe 1 minute. So by the way, from the video that I watched, Christian uses a S30 candle, which is 30 seconds, one candlestick. In this situation, one of the things that right now is about 0800 GMT. You can see the market has basically woken up. So this is usually what happened before 600 GMT. You see a horizontal, and then you start to see a crazy move most of the time, and a huge move over here. So usually in this situation, I would say hands down that the strategy may not be ideal in this situation. The reason why is because you will see, let's try to imagine that, okay, you want to take a reversal trade when the RSI touches the boundary. So that means we would have done a call trade over here in this candle. So however, you can see the candle actually pushes one more time before it do a slight reversal. So in markets like this, trends tend to be a bit stronger, and you won't get a reversal trade right in the instant when the prices touches the RSI boundary. Okay, you might modify it to like 80-20, but I think you get the point, because price tend to get pushed as prices want to look for a new range, and in this situation that is not good for the default plan in the strategy. Another situation that is not ideal for this strategy is the staircase structure. You can see one here, 2 here, 3 is like a step, horizontal, go down, and then horizontal, go down, horizontal, or it can be like horizontal up, horizontal up. So you can see in this situation, if stochastic goes out here and the price touches here, and this trade, it touches the RSI actually in this particular candle here. So this one would have been a win trade, so that is good. However, this one is because it has an oscillation. Usually a step is something like this, a very quiet horizontal and one straight move down, and then it becomes quiet again. So you can see the stochastic went out, the RSI crosses, we try to do a reversal trade, we might have lost over here. It depends on when you enter, but in short, it will be very risky. And you can see it touches here again. If you try to re-entry, do not re-enter. All right, so just take one trade at each touches. Okay, so what I can actually do in this situation is, instead of, let's say, go stochastic outside the boundary, stochastic touches here, if we do a reversal here, we would have lost. So what I can I usually do if I see structures and I start to see that this strategy is failing, always try to backtest your strategy, like scroll a couple of hours back, and then instead of entering a reversal trade at here, we enter over here when the RSI goes back into the channel. So that would be the most ideal situation. We can win a trade. Say for example here, if we enter a put trade over here in this candle, we would have lost. But if we enter a reversal when the RSI goes back into the channel over here, we would have. Okay, I've actually just won 2 trades by applying the method. The RSI just touched here and I executed a reversal trade. So I actually mentioned that there's a chance that this one will challenge this resistance line and it will go upwards. So but this trade actually ended up in my favor because it decided to go back down, and that shows that this resistance line is being respected. Okay, so but do take note that it's not always the case, you know, because like it still can be a case like this one where it touches the RSI and then it challenges one more time, pushes up further, and if I enter a reversal trade over in this touch over here, I would have lost the trade. So in this type of situation, we always have to be aware. So basically I would say kind of lucky in this situation, because like in the previous 2 back tests, let's say if I were to do this, enter a put trade in this candle, I would have lost the trade. And this is the one that, let's say, that is the only winning one. In fact, the past 3 setups using this, previous 3 would be a loss. This one would have been a 1. It touches the RSI and goes back up. This one touches the RSI, but it goes down for 1 candle before, and then we would have lost this one. So generally speaking, whenever we just get to your computer and getting ready to trade, so always try to look at the previous setups for this method and try to have a look whether the method will work, this strategy will work, because it is super important, because it will show you an indication whether the current market phase is ideal for this strategy or not. I can risk it to do this one, but I would prefer doing the setup when the RSI going back in and I do a 1 minute or 2 candlesticks worth of the reversal after it goes back into the channel. That's what my preference are. But I would say even the Euro JPY setup earlier was over here. Let's say if I enter a touch here in this candle, so thankfully I won, but you can see how strong the upwards movement is, the uptrend is. This retracement could and could not have happened. So if you apply the default plan, it's quite risky. So far I've done 2 trades. Actually the Euro JPY ended up a draw. Let's see, my trade size was 100 and I got 100 back. So I'll consider this as lucky, since it's supposed, in my opinion, to be a loss. And another thing is, like, if the RSI touches once and then it touches again, usually I would rather wait for another setup, because this one, if we enter in this touch, the first touch, we would have lost again, and then over here we would have won. So it's like a draw, loss, won over here. So not really my favorite. So okay, this one is going to break out. So let's try to look for another setup. I'm actually trying to wait for a setup that, yeah, this one is outside. Yeah, this stochastic, this RSI is already outside. So let's try to wait for this one to go back into the channel, and let's see whether this, and we try to trade a 1 minute worth, 1 minute expiry on this setup instead of the default plan, which is here. Let's say it touches the RSI, stochastic outside, it touches here. I mean, if we trade a put over here in this candle, we would have definitely lost after 1 minute. Okay, so let's wait for the RSI to go back in. Okay, so this is one of the situation where I was mentioning, if the stochastic was outside the channel for since, like, say 47, about 11 minutes, it's quite long, means the trend is still continuing. And if it's also the case on our RSI, this is definitely a sign that our default strategy, the default method, which is taking the trade when the RSI touches the channel line, a reversal trade, is not going to work. It's highly likely not going to work. So the best alternative that I would do is, instead of taking the trade going outside the RSI channel, I would take the trade when the RSI is going back into the channel. Right, so it's most likely going to touch now. I probably would wait for the close, candlestick close. Right, not yet, it's not closing yet. Yep, you can see I tried to wait for it to close because just now it went down, but it went back up again because you need to wait for the 30-second candlestick to close just to have a confirmation that that is where the price wants to go. $45. Alright, so the setup's not working out yet. The price decided to push upwards. So if you guys are beginners, sometimes if you spend time to look at the charts and try to paper trade, like before you do your real trading, like if you want to test a new method, you should do it like on a demo account first, or like try to look at the charts more and try to take note of what the market structure is doing, etc. But honestly, on a 30-second chart, it's okay to start with 30 seconds, but you will see more of this type of move where horizontal channel and then it moves up, then go down, then it moves up again like this. So instead you can look at the 1 minute chart. It kind of looks like the same, but you will notice market ranges expand. This is like an expanding market range, so usually it indicates higher volatility and there will be wilder like moves. So usually in this situation, you rarely see RSI touches in and touches the channel line and go back in. It will usually challenge till outside the channel and then only like go back in. So okay, so let's see. Okay, I think it closes in, so I'll do a 1 minute put trade over here. So hopefully it works out. Price action wise, I wouldn't say it's really good. Alright, another 30 seconds, but the price is forming a pin, a little pin. So the situation is not really like a stairs movement, it's like a steady uptrend. Okay, so this one won, definitely. So definitely worth having. Oh, the price actually reversed over here. A little bit tricky, yep. Would have lost a little, I think would have lost. Let's see. Not really. Yeah, there was a spike at the last 1 second. Yep, no matter. Why this thing happened is because trend is still generally going up, as you can see from the MA, the moving average line. Price are holding here. Whenever a price holds at a certain level, that means there's no activity. People aren't selling yet. There's no like huge selling or buying. That's why the price kind of holds at that level. So similarly, it tells the same story even in a smaller time frame. So at this moment, price are still holding. There's not much huge selling, so it holds long enough until the buyers decided to sell. So most of the time, it will actually poke the support line and try to stop people out in the position. Let's say over here. And then if do one fake breakout, and then it will finally break out. So it's usually something like that. Okay, so let's wait for more setup. So let's see if I can win this, use this strategy and grow my account to, let's say, 10,000, right? So let's look for more setups. Okay, so let's see, AUD USD. This is a pretty strong representation of a downwards movement. However, there is a chance that the default settings would have worked. Let me see. Nope, this one we would have lost here. This one we would have won since it touches the RSI and goes back, reverses. So like I said earlier, we can actually check the result just by looking at the RSI. So if it touches the boundary line and reverse back up, that means you would have won the trade. So similarly to this one, would have won the trade, but I think the price will continue to go down. It will go down quicker if the price tests this level, and it will just shoot downwards. Yeah, definitely we would have lost the trade at this touch. See, the reversal kind of feels. So thankfully I didn't do the default methods. So I'm just going to follow my methods where instead of going outside the RSI channel, I'm going to do the inside channel. Yeah, I might have lost here because it decides to go horizontal. So this is the only structure that this method is, even the default method is weak against this structure where it forms an L like this, straight down, straight to the side. It's an L. This structure is definitely bad. If the price decides to do this structure, that means it's a sign that even the one that I'm looking to do might actually lose. And this one is even harder. You see, it's forming like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dojis, 6, 7 dojis at the same time, and still looks like it's going to push down. Now this is another clue for you guys. So if you see an L structure like this, and this is like a tiny L, it's not really a good sign. I probably would skip this, because the only situation that I would win is the volatility or volume, I mean the momentum upwards suddenly increase, and I might win this trade. Okay, it seems like I would have won this trade because there's like a sudden upwards burst. I would say if I were to enter this trade, I would be quite lucky. So I think the best situation is when there's going outside the channel and then going back in. Still kind of risky. It still maintains the L structure, and I think it will continue to go down. This candle here is a representation that is respecting this moving average line as a resistance line. So unless it closes, otherwise it closes another green candle upwards, then we would have been in a better situation. Let's see if I have Euro USD. Okay, Euro USD. Oh, I probably missed this one. This one is a would have entered. Let's say if we enter here, as usual, we would have lost. But if I enter going back into the channel, I would have won a 1 minute trade. Yep. So it seems like in this particular session that I'm actually recording, as opposed to what BLW recorded during his live trade session, I'm quite sure that those timings are a little bit different, and the market is quieter, relatively quieter during that session. So maybe that's, if you guys want to follow the default plan, you might want to use like his timing. Else, if you are trading in an active market like mine, we probably need to enter a trade when the RSI goes back into the channel, might be more efficient. So it's a game of patience. Yeah. So especially if you guys are a beginner, try not to learn too many strategies at the same time and try to apply all the strategies that you have learned. I would much rather, as a beginner, like back when I just started, I had like information overload, and when I try to switch between strategy just by looking at like the price action, and I was like thinking, okay, maybe the MA cross would work in this, the moving average cross would work this time if I bet if I trade half an hour. Let's say some might work, some wouldn't. I noticed that as I switch around with too many strategies, it usually reflects in our balance, and it's harder to grow. There's less consistency in what we are doing and what we are applying in our trading method. So if we want to grow an account, most likely we need to do something very consistent, or at least have a system. So you can actually have two strategies, but do make sure that they are countering each other, like they are opposite of each other. Say for example, some situation strategy A is better, and in a different situation strategy is better. So you can just switch around these two, and slowly my account were able to grow, and that's an exciting part. So when I start to see some results, I get extra motivated. It helps psychologically, but whenever we have a challenging trading day, it's always best to just step away and try to reassess what went wrong and what we can do better in the next day, and always try to take note of what the market phase is on a higher time frame. So, and when we note down those different market phases, whether it's like very strong trend or like a expanding market with widening range, so the next time when it happens, you will know what to do. You will try to build a trader's instinct, and that will help you in the long run, definitely. Alright guys, so I am looking at GBP USD. The RSI is approaching the 30 boundary, and as usual, I will not enter at the exit of the 70-30 channel. I will wait for it to go back in and stand by for a call. Let's see, I'll wait for the candle to close. If it closes at green, there is a chance I can go for a call. Now it closes at red, so I'm just gonna wait. as you can see, when it closes a green, very likely the RSI will be going into the channel, but right now the RSI is angling outside the channel, so I'm going to wait for a bit. Okay, I think I missed this one. It goes back in, so I'll try. Might not be a good entry. Let's see how it goes. Very likely I might lose this one based on the price action. Tested 1, 2. This is the third one. Maybe I will win. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. So I entered at the RSI. Okay. This is according to plan. And when the RSI goes back into the 70-30 channel, I think this is quite lucky. This one is this is like GBP strengthening at the time when I entered the trade, so that is very good. Okay, this one is most likely a very deep win. Oh, I forgot to change my trade size. If I were to do 10%, I can reach 10,000 a little bit faster. Okay, so good. I think maybe another 2 to 3 trades I will reach my goal. Let's see how it goes. I'm just going to wait for the next trade. Yep, so patience is the name of the game. So in setups like this one where it touches the boundary and then just go back out, most likely I would just leave the trade and probably not do anything. Like I want it to go outside the 70-30 channel. Like this one, at least it goes out a little bit and then goes back in for a stronger reaction. If it just touches like this and then it goes back in over here, like over here, let's say I enter in this candle, after 1 minute it will close over here, or potentially I might have win, but I think it's not really a strong reversal reaction that I want. So if I want a stronger reversal reaction, I would prefer it to go back into the channel. Okay, so in this situation, like let's say this one most likely I would have lost because the RSI as it goes back in is over here, might be on the way back to the green candle. It depends on your entry. If my entry is here, it might end up somewhere like maybe around here, depends. Because this is a L formation, right? So one L and then second L, this structure is not really good. So this one is like a different kind of price structure. So this one stands more chance than a L structure. So L shaped looking structure, not really good. So I would prefer to avoid it. Let's wait for the next setup. Alright, so in this example, I have AUD USD. We have a strong reaction upwards. So the previous market structure, it was kind of flat, it went down and then it was flat, and so this can be considered as the first strong move upwards. So sometimes a strong breakout can be very intimidating to take a reversal trade. For example, here we can see it's a strong move down. So let's say in this RSI, so if I were to enter a trade over here, say over here, it's not exactly going back into the channel yet. As you can see, the maximum, the top of this line actually entered here. It was just touching the 30 boundary. So what I want is like a bit cleaner, like at least it crosses the line. So if it crosses the line, it's over here. I might have lost this trade depending on my entry. So if I were to enter a bit later with an entry price, say around here, maybe I would have won the trade. Then again, most likely sometimes when we have a strong reaction, I would want to avoid a L structure. So, but if this doesn't end up being an L structure, I would have a higher chance. Another risk, if you take a very strong reaction like this one, for example, is one is the L shape structure that potentially can come up. Another one is that when the RSI actually crosses the 70 line, and if price touches the one of the moving average lines, so moving average line tend to be used as a catapult to jump onto a higher level. So let's say if this candle, it was a green, it touches the MA line, you can see here, and then it starts to shoot up. So this is clearly what I was talking about, right? So if it shoots up and I enter a trade, say over here, it would be quite disadvantageous. Alright, so maybe I can risk it because it's engulfing here. This red one is bigger, so I might enter at near the end, the candle close. 1 minute. So let's see. Okay, let's see how this trade goes. If it turns out to be like a L structure, it's not going to be good. So yep, so it's a green candle and it's quite near the moving average line. So this is one of the risks if we trade this market structure. This one is a flat structure and it's the first big move. So there comes the extra risk of taking this trade. So as opposed to the GBP USD trade, we have nice oscillation. Instead, it was flat for a while, but when we enter the trade over here, it has nice oscillation instead of a L-shape structure. Okay, most likely I will lose this one. Yep, so this one is a losing trade. So most likely I will change my trade size to 10%. Not advisable for beginners to do this. So because I want to reach my goals faster. Now we are seeing a L-shaped structure, which contributed to my losing trade. So this is something that we need to be aware of when we use this strategy in our trading. Well, this L-shaped structure is beginning to fail because there's an engulfing. So if I probably do this support line thing in this structure, stand a better chance. Well, oh well, I probably will lose this, but no problem. Well, this is what usually happens when we trade binary options. We try to avoid this kind of impromptu ideas. Obviously, I'm showing you guys a very bad example because I had a good feeling about it that it will stay strong as a resistance line. So as you can see over here, it's trying to go back up. That means this is a jab testing this support line and trying to stop people out of position. We just wait for next setup. I might actually martingale the next setup and we will see how it goes. Yep, so I'm now back in game. So sorry guys, this is actually not really an important thing to this lesson of the video. I just want to get some of my funds back. So unfortunately on Cortex, my trade size is capped at 1000. I can't do like 2x martingale from 850. So I probably got back, instead of got back my loss and win some. Like I only managed to cover like 750 from my previous loss. So yep, that's my mistake. No problem, I'll just wait for the next setup. I think I got a bit lucky here. My entry is supposed to be at this level, but instead my open price was here and it expired here, expired as a draw. So I think I probably mentioned before that this RSI, this pointy one, it goes out and in immediately. It's not as good as the one that stays outside for a bit and then it comes back in. So in terms of which RSI cross, RSI going back into the channel, I would prefer this one. Maybe should I give this another chance? Maybe I should. Let's see, I'll try another 1 more minute. But this is another pointy situation, as I mentioned earlier. Let's see, if I get this entry, it will be a lot better. So this one is more riskier, even though it crosses the 30 line, the 30 RSI boundary, and goes back in. Okay, the reason why I entered this, because usually in this situation it should have less downwards movement, because it is trying to form an horizontal channel. Another reason is because this is a horizontal channel that lasted for quite a while, so it should form some sort of like a support which is why actually you take an additional risk. But in normal situation and as a beginner, let's say I probably would skip this and look for only this one where the RSI spends some time outside the 70-30 channel. Okay, this one is good. Great, so I probably just need one more and I am done for the day, and I would reach my 10k balance. So far the strategy that I used maybe four trades, the one that we execute when the RSI enter back into the channel. So far I think we only lost one, the rest of it is a win. In my opinion, is more stable than the one that the one that we see on YouTube. For example, this one, the stochastic and the RSI touches outside the channel roughly about the same time. So this usually is an indication where the price is going very fast downwards, so there will be no time for reversal. So therefore this setup is best to be avoided if you are following the default plan. So if it's not the default plan, I would have entered a call over here, and we would have won the trade over here. This one would have been a nice setup. If we take another touch, let's say the one we see on YouTube, maybe over here the stochastic has went outside for quite a bit and then it touches here. It depends on when we enter the trade. This one we would have won, but let's say over here, this one we would have lost over here. Like as I said, there's a continuous touches for trending movement. We should avoid and take the first touch only. So assuming if we skip this one, if we enter this one we would have won. So but this one we would have lost. So it depends on a very active market. Let's say this one we would definitely lost. Based on the RSI we can see this one they would have lost default plan. So any RSI touches that ends up staying outside the channel, the usual YouTube plan would have lost the trade, right? So you can count 1 to 3 would have lost in this situation. If it's a pointy one, like I say this touch, they would have won. But if it goes outside, they would have lost. So rather than not being sure when it touches the boundary, we are not sure whether it's going to stay outside or not, I personally would prefer to wait and see whether it crosses outside the channel, and I will enter when it goes back in. That would be my preferred plan. That's for me personally, so maybe for you guys it's a little bit different. So at least I try to share with you guys what are the weaknesses, these two variations of strategy. Okay, so yeah, this one almost touches. So well, here comes the greed, the human emotions of greed. Maybe I can reach my goal right now if I can just take it. Well, a breakout. This one is a big move. Should avoid it. Should at least wait for maybe 10 minutes to see. Yep, maybe I should control my greed and just stop for now. Let's see, this one would have been a draw. Strong move. The first strong move after a horizontal channel is usually riskier. We want nice oscillation, a nice like slow trend with nice oscillation. That would be a bit better. Yep. Alright, so I've made up my mind. I should definitely stop trading now, because before the human emotions take over and then I'll be too close to reaching my 10k goal, and it will be disappointing if I were to miss the trade. So I guess like every single trader will experience this kind of emotions in your trading, sometimes on a daily basis. So for me, I feel less confident because right now I'm actually trading and trying to record at the same time, so I actually never really done it. So I figured that I kind of have to do this if I want to upload more videos on YouTube, because video editing and making videos is not really my forte or something that I enjoy the most, because trading is actually what I do most of the time, and it's not my favorite thing to do, but I kind of but I still want to do, but I still have to do for my YouTube channel. So to share some of my knowledge and hopefully can benefit some of you guys, and at the same time, if you guys can support my YouTube channel, it's kind of like my side hustle apart from trading, so I would appreciate it if you guys subscribe, give a thumbs up to this video, and also join my free Telegram channel. So right now it's still very small, so if I can bring it up to like a couple of thousands, you guys just join in there. It's easier for me to share information there rather than me. I have to record the whole thing and then I'll have to basically talk on the microphone for a very long time, and all those video editing is less efficient for me. So maybe it's more efficient for other people, but for me definitely right now it's the less efficient way. So you can see it's a big breakout for EuroJPY. Should I do something? Should I do something in this situation? Nah, probably not. Sorry guys if you guys have to hear this inner monologue speaking. Yeah, sometimes trading can be very stressful, so if you guys feel stressful, better take a break and just stop now. I should actually off my screen right now and just go. Alright, so till next time guys, do remember to like and subscribe and join my Telegram channel. So thanks for watching and supporting my channel.